Hello and welcome to the Millwall programme for the home game against Stoke City. Now, if you haven't heard, Millwall have stopped producing a programme for the game. Some fans have got together and done their own one. It's 16 pages of info, fixtures, photos. It's only £1 and they are selling it outside the Club Shop Millwall Cafe main gate area. Now, last time for the friendly they had 600. Don't know how many they're going to have this time. There are various avenues to actually subscribe and have it posted to you, but it's going to cost a lot more. I think it costs something like £3.50 to do that per game. So this video is a new thing that I'm trying to do, and it's going to encompass most of the things that you would normally have in a matchday program, but just in a video style format. So let's crack on and let's introduce the Matchday Mascots, Saturday's Millwall match mascots. And here they are, a whole five-a-side team of them. There's Fraser Denning there. He attends Hillcroft Primary School in Caterham, and he plays Fortnite and FIFA. Okay. His first Millwall game was at the Wembley Stadium for the playoff final in 2017. Nice. There's Teddy Sayer there. He attends an unplanned primary school, and his hobbies are just football. He thinks Millwall are going to win 3-2 today. Nice. That would be very nice. Here's Charles Haley. He's 8 years old. He goes to Lessons Primary School. He plays in goal for a team called Cray Wanderers Lions. He's a goalkeeper there. He plays 6 days a week. Nice. Okay. There is Harry Quinnier. His favourite player is Daniel McNamara. He goes to Old Bexley School and he thinks Millwall are going to win 2-0 tomorrow. Or today. Nice. And there's Jack Quinnier. I assume that's his brother. Maybe. There's Jack Quinnier, his older brother. He goes to Hurst Primary School in Bexley Heath. His favourite player is Benik Afobe. He predicts a 3-0 victory for the Lions tomorrow. So here's Charlie Baldwin. No photo for Charlie, but he'll be on the pitch tomorrow. Charlie attends Hurstmuir Secondary School. So he's a bit older, so probably a bit too cool to take a photograph. He's at that teenage stage. His favourite player is Daniel McNamara, and he predicts the Mill will win 2-1. So there you go. There are your match mascots for today's game. Interesting stuff. Okay. Today's match sponsor is PLP Fire Protection. So who are they? They are a multi-award winning company that specialises in the installation, maintenance and repair of fire safety systems and equipment. Very useful to have in this day and age. How long have you followed Millwall? Do you have any special links to the club? Our family have been watching Millwall for over 50 years. Alan Beechin, my father, is also a PLP director. Was a supporter from a little boy at the Old Den, and many of our family members started showing interest in football. Alan took us to see Millwall, and we've been supporters ever since. Fantastic stuff there. PLP Fire Protection, today's match sponsor. Today's match ball sponsor is Pro Environmental Services Limited. Who are they? Well, let's find out from Alan Ledra, who I've been a Mill supporter since a very young age, as are the Ledra Family Club, with many relatives attending games. I am based in Singapore, but spend about 3 months of the year in the UK. My company specialises in recycling. Interesting stuff. Following Mill since the age of 5, my claim to fame was being in the Sunday papers. Features as fan of the day from a match against Man City in 1990. It was an FA Cup game. What do they do? We are a niche recycling business, recycling PET and other plastics, which is a leading environmental initiative indeed. Interesting stuff. So I assume they send it out to Singapore and get it recycled and get it dealt with, which is good because I think China have just stopped accepting any imports of waste materials. So I would imagine if you recycle your bottles in your local council's collection service, they might be ending up going through pro-environmental mill fan run company. So there you go. Today's Matchball sponsor. Now moving on to some stuff happening today. You may have seen it already. Bartosz Białkowski and Tom Bradshaw will open the Lions Food Hub's brand new unit on Saturday afternoon. Before today's game, the goalkeeper and striker will be appearing in the vicinity of the SC16 bar to cut the ribbon, and you can help with donations. The Food Hub are seeking the following: shower gel, toothpaste, shampoo, laundry detergent, tinned foods, tea, coffee, sugar and pasta. And you can bring your items along to the SC16 bar area on the day. For more information on the Lions Food Hub, please click here by going to millfc.co.uk and just searching for Food Hub. And now, the Millwall Supporters Club. They are selling packages for you to go onto the pitch and present but in future games, man of the match with a little trophy. So you can go on and do that and have a picture taken doing that. And the next game against Coventry is sold out. Cardiff game's sold out, but there are many other games still available, and it only costs you 50 quid. And that's actually for 2 people. Let's look at the one for Reading. So what you get, it's a package for 2 people. So it's £25 per person. It seems it doesn't include a ticket. You will present the man of the match, play from the previous home game. So they don't. Okay. From the previous home game in front of the home dugout. So I imagine this is done before the game. Well, I assume before the game. So you'll get a signed printed photo of you and the player. You walk down the tunnel and soak up the matchday atmosphere. Photo on social media and a signed Mill pennant from the player. So interesting stuff. So with 2 pitch side passes, we will walk you down the famous tunnel and out to the dugouts where you will present the award. So I assume you have to pay for your own tickets, but once you're in, just pay £50 extra to get on the pitch. And well, not on the pitch, on the side of the pitch. You could be stepping on the grass, and then you present the player with the award from the previous campaign or from the previous game. And it says here the player is selected from the whoscored.com online rating system. So that will be interesting, because they don't generally side with the popular opinion. So there you have it there, from the previous game. Previous game or previous home game? I'm not too sure now. But there you go. Maybe they could do multiple in a game, have different players. Maybe, I don't know. But interesting stuff there from the Mill Supporters Club. And now moving on to the squads for today's game. We have the goalkeepers for Millwall, the defenders, the midfielders, and the numbers of George Honeyman is 39, and the forwards. And there are your coaches. Now for Stoke City, here are the players. Frank Fielding, ex-Millwall goalkeeper, number 34. Must have recently signed because they don't have no picture for him. The defenders. Harry Suter injured for today's game. Phil Jagielka still kicking. How old is he now? Must be in his 40s. Interesting. Okay. Midfielders. Names, numbers and images. Will Smallbone on loan from Southampton there. Nick Powell injured for today's game apparently. And the forwards, obviously no picture of the main man, the white gal. And staff, just one picture of the manager, Michael O'Neill. So there's your Stoke City lineup and names and numbers. What about the referee for today's game? Well, the referee officials, the match officials for today's game are Keith Stroud. The linesmen are Ian Cooper and Matthew Smith. And the fourth official will be Andy Warmer. So there's your match officials for today's game. Now ahead of the new season, there may be some rule changes, so let's find out what they are. This is from EFL.com. What is happening? Are there any changes to the referees list? Kevin Friend, oh no, is now a select Group 2 manager, so will therefore no longer officiate on the field. Yes, he's been promoted out of the way. There are, while referees James Bell and Bobby Madley have been promoted. So Group 2 is a Sky Bet Championship level. 4 new assistant referees, or linesmen as we know them: Andrew Eilert, Greg Reed, Matt Smith, and Mark Evans. Select Group 1. So, referees have been promoted out of our league up to the Premier League. Tom Bramall and Natalie Aspinall, Steve Meredith and Nick Greenhall have all achieved promotion to the SG1 linesman's list. Good. So the substitute changes. In league matches, teams will be able to name 7 substitutes and use 5 of those. Limit to 3 opportunities during the game. Changes at half time do not count as an opportunity. Concussion substitutes. 2 concussion substitutes are permitted and a green card must be completed and given to the 4th official. The opposing team receives an additional substitute and additional substitution opportunity. So it evens it up. However, the additional substitution opportunity can only be used for the additional substitute as a result of the concussion. So if you have a concussed player, I imagine the doctor signs a card which you can give to the 4th official, and that will allow you to substitute them. But then it also allows the opposing team to have a substitute as well. Okay. Penalty kicks. There are very few law changes this season. One clarification is that when the ball is kicked at a penalty, the goalkeeper must have at least part of 1 foot touching in line with or behind the goal line. And there's their new drip for the season. Black Nike kit. And the additional guidance threshold on the pitch. Contact is an acceptable part of football, and contact alone does not mean there is a foul. The preference is not to penalise minimal contact. Match officials will consider the consequence of contact, action of defender, and the motivation of the attacking player when deciding whether a challenge should be penalised. Delaying the restart. Referees will work together with players, taking a proactive and stepped management approach to reduce undue delay. Time wasting. The action of the players and the consequence of that action will be considered, and where that action results in a clear delay to the restart, the player runs a risk of caution. So they are apparently stamping down on time wasting. Should be fun. What with the substitution changes? I think it's going to be harder to defend. Will that be tough on Millwall? Will that affect our season and our results? It's going to be harder to defend because the opposition team literally has 5 substitutes. They could bring 5 forwards on if they're losing and just go all guns a blazing. Especially if you've already made your changes to shore up your defence. You brought one of the forwards off. You changed one of the midfielders to the defensive midfielder, and you're just going to try and sit and defend. They can just bring 5 forwards on and just get at you, and that's going to affect your time wasting ability as well. Moving on now, there's not much to see here. This is from millwallhistory.org.uk, and this is the match program style results list, which will be filled in as we go along. So obviously not much there now. just the fixture list so far, homes and aways, and squad stats. Of course, there's none yet. We've got the numbers here. There's no George Honeyman on that list. I don't think it's been properly fully updated yet. Don't know why. Okay. But we have 2 players loaned in, of course. Charlie Cresswell and Jamie Shackleton, both from Leeds. With 2 players loaned out that you can keep an eye on. Joe Wright, the goalkeeper, loaned Bath City for the season. And Alex Mitchell on loan to Scotland's St Johnstone for the season as well. So there you go. And that is it for your Millwall programme video for Stoke City at home.